Hey everybody, welcome. I have new headphones. You can't see that because we're not doing video today, but I am going to be doing video soon live anyway, and you know that. It's kind of how it goes, but you got to tell me how it sounds. I need to know. I need you guys to give me a 5-5 or it's loud and clear, which is what 5-5 means. Or, if it sounds horrible, I need to know that too. It's going to be really painful to switch up to my. Oh, sweet. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to intro. Oh, I'm so glad. And thank you, you guys. If you see Brenda come in, tell her thanks because she paid for these headphones because she is a blessing to me. So I have Amanda-Akers here. You guys have heard from her before, and we are hopefully going to really get you guys to understand that we don't want you to use your banks anymore. When she comes in and starts talking, I'm going to need to know if she is also 5 by 5, please. All right, Amanda, welcome.
Hey, Erin, you sound really good to me. Um, Thanks for having me on again.
Oh man, I appreciate it. You have more knowledge than me on some of these things. I have more knowledge than you, so when we come together, we are monumentally knowledgeable.
Yes,
They're saying you sound good too. Can you hear me?
loud and clear. Five
Excellent.
five.
Well, all right. Okay, so I'm just going to introduce this topic a little bit, and then I'm going to ask Amanda a question that I know she knows the answer to. But we started something with this company, and this is 7K Metals, guys. We've told you about it before, and I'm telling you about it again. Let me get to my website so I can pull this up. It's called the Sound Money Wallet, and the reason we're talking about this is because we've been testing it and trying it out. We've been trying to learn about it, but what we've learned and we're going to share with you and what we know we're going to share with you just from our personal experience and what we've learned from the company. But Amanda, what do you see this as for you? What are you going to use this for?
I am so excited about this. Somebody said I was a higher pitch. I don't know what that means. Does that mean I'm really loud?
No,
I talk loud.
I turned it down.
Okay, cool, cool. Um, I'm so excited about this because I do not trust banks. I don't care what bank it is. I'm with a federal credit union, which anyways, I'm going to be using this as my bank. So you can transfer from your bank directly into the Sound Money wallet, and your cash will always be there. And then you have a debit card, just like out of a bank account. Um, and and then you can transfer between silver assets, gold assets, and cash. You can move your money around any way you'd like. And it's completely protected because the feds cannot touch the Sound Money wallet. It's private, um, and they're not required to have cash in the banks anymore. That's not a requirement. They don't have to cover everybody's balances by cash. And I'm sure you're going to talk a little bit more about what's going on in China, but that's pretty scary to me. If I want to get my money, I can't. So I'm just going to leave it in gold and silver in my Sound Money wallet. And when I need money, I'll transfer it to a cash asset. But you can always keep a cash asset in the balance too. It doesn't have to be gold or silver, but I'm just excited about it. I've already got started. So I got some money in. I've got some gold assets and silver assets in my Sound Money wallet already, and cash, of course.
So this just to if anyone has the question of, well, how do I put money in there? You guys that are already members, you're able to sign a form for what's called ACH, and that money can be pulled from your bank, or you can send a check, or you can send cash, or you can wire money. I wouldn't wire it because of the $10 fee. So it's like is it 3 days, I think, to get your money pulled over ACH. And that's how you can get it from your bank to this. And I think Amanda has some knowledge on why this is actually going to protect your dollars if you move it into silver and gold. And you said something great. It's not federal. So it's insured, but it's not FDIC like a bank. It's not the federally insured. But I want you to talk about how it's protected and what they're putting in the vault because you knew that and I didn't know that, if you don't mind.
So it is a privately owned vault. It's not a depository. Depositories are federally insured. So at any moment they can come and take your assets. They can come see if something if I did something where I owed some sort of money to the government or whatever, they can come and um, take it right out of a depository. So this is different because it's a private vault. So it's owned by 7K Metals as a private entity. It cannot be touched. They have no rights. They don't have to share whose money is in there, whose assets are in there. It's totally private. And so they have this private vault. So what member wide, whatever the cash assets are member wide, they have to have that amount of cash in the vault. Whatever silver assets are member wide, they keep that amount of silver in the vault. Same with gold. Now, once a month, they get audited by a third party to make sure that everything matches up. So it's absolutely revolutionary and totally protected, as you know, from our government and any other snake out there that's trying to see what we've got. And also, it's all gold and silver eagles. Gold and silver eagles are not reportable. And when you transfer from your cash assets into silver or gold assets in the private vault, there's no up to $10,000 in silver you can have with no fees as far as transferring it into silver and keeping it in the vault, and up to $50,000 in gold with no fees. Beyond those numbers, there are very small minimal fees, and I'm talking pennies, um, to store it there. So it's also protected. Jason Arfman, who is our CEO, he went out and created a relationship with a gentleman who was an ex-detective, FBI agent, or I can't remember his exact title, but he's retired from that, and he is now our security at all times. So, this company is just top of the line. They're really moving quickly. They've seen what's going on around the country and around the world, and they really are out to protect us as members. This is the most valuable membership you will ever have in your life. So, you got your Costco and your Sam's Club and your gym membership and Amazon Prime. This membership, this is the most valuable membership anybody could have. So, uh, I'm just so happy to have this and be able to share it with people.
You told me something that I didn't know, which was perfect about the silver eagles and the gold eagles. Now, if any of you don't know, if you buy a bunch of gold and silver, there's some things that have to be reported even as you buying it, but it has to be reported by the company you're buying from because they're selling it. Now, if you sell it, you have to report it. And I don't have the amounts in front of me. I don't have the PowerPoint pulled up, but we can send you that. We can show you that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you don't ever have to report, even if you sell $100,000, $1 million of it in one day. You don't ever have to report it. And silver eagles and gold eagles are one of those because of the year that they began being made. Now this could change someday, but it hasn't since 1984 when Ronald Reagan issued a new law regarding gold and silver. Anything before that that was made, there are certain amounts that you have to report when you sell or cash out, right? That we're talking cash out too. And then there's certain amounts that you don't. Then there's some stuff that you never do. And so that helps the anonymous buying. They already want us to be anonymous buyers. When people are like, well, how can I use this as a bank? They give us a debit card. So this is even more anonymous because, like you said, they have to report this because of what they're using to fill the vault with. So we can put all our cash in there. But another thing I pointed out that somebody had a question for me yesterday is that this is an immediate transfer. So here's the thing: is I put in $49, and you see it says $48.30. Well, spot's going up and down, and so does my amount of dollars, just as if I had bought physical silver. So I put $49 in. It went up to $49.65, went down to 48.30. I don't care. The point is if I put enough dollars in there, yes, you do get a debit card, Benz. If I put enough dollars in there, and I'm going to start doing it every month, I'm going to start putting anything residual in there because I can use the debit card, and I can put it in there as cash, or I can put it in there as silver, I can put it in there as gold, or all three. It's I feel like it's more protected as gold and silver, but the point is you can cash it out immediately, just like a Cash App or PayPal or Venmo, and it goes to your debit card within the day. Only one time in my experience has it taken 3 days. So, like, let's say you have an emergency, you're going to be able to cash out immediately, get it to your debit card within the day. And so, in a way, it's a little bit better than buying physical silver and having to cash out in an emergency. Well, in a big way, it's better than this, because instead of let's say you bought it at spot and or bought it close to spot, right? And you're like, oh, that spot was $25 an ounce that day, and then it drops to 18, and you have an emergency. Their buyback is going to be below that 18, whereas this remains at your dollar amount. So if you bought at spot at 18 or whatever, 49, put $49 in, I don't have to get that buyback change out. I just get whatever you see in there cashed out. So it was my silver. I get to cash it out. If you just put cash in there, it's not going to go up and down with spot. It's only going to go up if you put it in silver and gold. And so the point is it's immediate. You don't have to do the buyback thing. You don't have to wait to send in your silver to them and wait for a check. And it goes to your debit card. And the debit card does not have a chip. We are a chipless debit card. So back to you, Amanda, if you want to speak on that.
Um, yeah, so it is, you know, I've I've got quite a bit of gold and silver, and I keep it in a private safe. But if emergency came and I needed to get cash for that, it's going to take me 3 to 6 weeks, right? With all that. So this is, I'm literally by the click of a button, it's cashed out and onto your into your cash or into your balance in your account. And then you use your debit card. You can use it to go get cash out of an ATM. Well, good luck with that. But
I have used it for that. I have gotten, yeah, but if you
driving
yeah,
down the road,
if the
it's no
ATMs don't
longer
have
there.
cash, you're not going to be able to get cash. Exactly. We'll talk about that in a minute,
It's
but go ahead and finish what you were
so
saying.
Ben's Schwiggle. I
Yeah.
hope I'm saying it.
It's actually Ben's shovel. Ben's shovel. But
Oh, okay.
he spells it
Uh,
wrong.
okay. So he said so a magnetic strip. It's a Visa. So uh, it's exactly the same as your bank debit card, except that 7K metals is where the funds are coming from, your balance. Um, but yeah, so you were talking about reportable and exempt. They want to keep it exempt with the gold and silver eagles, and they're the most lucrative because they are backed by the U.S. government for their weight, content, and purity. The other stuff obviously is not, um, but if you have or want the other stuff, palladium, platinum, gold bars, and rounds, silver bars and rounds, the generic stuff or whatever, even collectibles, we have another vault for that too. That is our just a private member vault. That's a private vault for the member. And then as a member, you get a spot in that vault for free up to a certain size. I'm not going to talk too much on that, but just because I don't know all the details, but so that's cool if you still like to have those other things too. And it's just great all the way around.
So I think, yeah, I don't know how big it goes, but I know it's big enough that they'll put in your monthly. I think your coin of the month can go in there. For how long? I don't know. Again, we don't have all the details, but if you if you want to have your physical gold and silver on you, by all means, you wouldn't need to use it. But these vaults cost $15 a month plus anywhere else, where it's free for us. I would think that, when you and I started, they didn't even have this many benefits. These benefits keep getting
Oh
added
my
over
gosh.
time.
The only collectible coin I could purchase through 7K metals was an American Silver Eagle, which is my favorite coin, by the way. But uh, just in collectibles alone, I have a very valuable collection from all over around the world. And so from here on out, they have serial numbers on these collectible coins, these MS70s, the ones that are in the acrylic cases. Doesn't necessarily have to be a 70, but um, from here on out, those are scanned to me. So if I buy an MS70 American Silver Eagle coin, I just bought the Trump one, which
Me
I'm
too.
ecstatic to get. I
Me
know.
too.
Um, that is scanned, and I will be able to know exactly from grading it to 7K metals to put in my vault. It shows me all the tracking on it, and that is now attached to my name. It belongs to me. If it pops up stolen or something happened, not through 7K, that wouldn't happen. But if I had it delivered to me and it got stolen and somebody tried to sell it on eBay, I could turn around and find my coin. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's my name's attached to it. So, but anyways, what I was going to say is they are now sent directly to the depository if you choose to do that and not have it shipped to you, for free, like Aaron said. But I will add the shipping fee still applies. You still got to pay your shipping because that's what they're going to run the vault off of, that $7 fee, for shipping. So instead of shipping it to us, they ship it to the vault. Same thing, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wanted to mention real quick since you brought it up this Philadelphia uh, what do you call it? Philadelphia Emergency Silver Eagle. And I'm showing a picture not of the one with Donald Trump, which I can find. Happy to find it. But this is an emergency Silver Eagle that was made when the West Point vaults closed down. And because the West Point vaults closed down, they shot out. I don't have it in front of me. Like 200. I don't know. 250,000. I can find it real quick. Let me do this. I want to.
Oh,
I
right
want to.
there.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, you found it.
Yeah, I got it. It's 240,000 were minted, and I think only 55,000 of them are MS-70. And I don't know how many actually have Donald Trump on it. I should actually go to NGC and tag that one as mine. I should have done that right away. But these are going to be very collectible for a lot of reasons. Well, this particular one that the company is selling has Donald Trump on it. The way you get this, guys, if you're already a member, is you pick the gold option, the $299 option. And if you think, well, that's a lot for a Silver Eagle, nobody is selling it for less. I guarantee you, me and my dad researched it. And if I wasn't going to get one from 7K, I was going to buy it from somebody else. But it's when Philadelphia struck these, the last time they did that in 2015, I have to look a little further, but even the MS-69s are going for $500 to $600 a piece. So I think the MS-70's got to be more than double that, because if you look at 1999, MS-70 can we've seen sell as high as 24,000, but NGC says around 18. The 69s sell around 800 or $900 compared to 24,000. Huge difference, right?
And there was one struck an emergency production out of Philadelphia too. I cannot remember the year. I want to say, I want to say 2008.
Could be.
But that, if you have one of those emergency production from the Philadelphia, those are going for thousands.
Mhm.
So I don't mind paying 300 because one of these days it'll be worth thousands, especially with that label.
Oh, for sure. This is the craziest year of all. I mean, they don't do these emergency ones very often. Also, they don't put the P on the coin, so the only way well, you know that it is because they don't put the P on the coin, and that's apparently how Philadelphia does it. But the fact that we have the MS-70 perfectly minted Donald Trump label ones, again, you're not going to get them for less than 300 anywhere else. Plus, we get paid. They pay us for buying these coins, so we get paid by whoever buys
Yeah.
them, and the fact that we buy them. So I'm like, well, shoot, if I'm going to spend 300 somewhere else, I'd rather spend it with us. And I'll tell you what, guys, I thought they were going to be sold out. I tried to buy it on the first, and I couldn't at first. Turns out they have them for the whole month. So if you are a member, you need to get on the 8th, the 15th, the 21st, or the 26th. Oh, too late for the 8th, the 15th, the 21st, or the 26th. And I was told by Blake that we would have them for the rest of the month, and I didn't know if you knew that, Amanda. So you tell your people if they don't know.
Did you talk to him today?
I talked to him, it would have been like 2 days ago. Yeah, on the 6th, I asked him.
Okay, so I called today. Um, they said they would definitely last through the end of today and maybe the 15th.
Oh
They
boy, it
didn't
keeps changing.
realize how many members were going to snatch these up. Yeah. So
Oh
if you're
dear.
getting one, just go get it today. And I'd like to add, for those of you who are maybe sharing this with people and growing a downline, helping people get their memberships here, that so this was released on the 1st, and I had so many people in my organization who switched from the American, or I mean the basic autosaver to the specialty. This is the specialty just for this month, just so they could get that coin. It got me a $500 cycle check because of all the people that bought it. So this coin was free to me. I just I just want you to think about that. when you're thinking about sharing this with people. Not that it's all about the money, but that's how valuable this coin is. And there's a lot of people that would want this, and many more to come. But the fact that we're just sharing the Sound Money wallet alone is why we need to be telling people. And just, just naturally, that's how they thank us for referrals. I mean, to to earn the cycle checks like that. So I thought that was really cool. And then oh, uh somebody was asking about Australia. We are working on Australia as we speak, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's available any day. Although I think we are actually, I know we're in pre-launch, so you're not going to actually click on we've only got 3 countries showing right now. You're going to want to call the corporate office tomorrow morning, 8:30 Mountain Time or later. They open at 8:30 Mountain, and they'll get you into the pre-launch. So you'll be able to get a membership right away without waiting for it to be on the link.
Oh, good. I'm glad you knew that. I was just thinking it showed up. So anyway, Greg, you can call right now. It's 4:25 Mountain Standard Time. So you can now you know the difference in standard time. So great. That's exciting. Well, geez. Anyway, so we are
Or
live there. They just don't have the link yet, I guess, huh?
is it showing? I think it's only showing USA. Uh,
I'll log out and log back in and see what happens. Or I'll
yeah,
just log out and go home.
I don't
Oh,
think
it's not.
Australia is showing yet.
It,
Canada, no, it's not. UK, Canada, and USA
okay.
is right now, but we are in Australia pre-launch, so you can get in now.
Yeah, mine's not even showing that now for some reason. It knows where I am. It
I
it
know, mine wouldn't either.
I had to turn my deal off. Oh yeah, yeah. Don't look at my sad
Click
list
on
of
get
active
started.
people.
Click on get started. Oh.
Oh, click it started. Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense. Well, I'd have to pick one of these.
Yeah, Greg, I'll type the phone number in the chat, and you need to make sure you tell them Erin Moffat sent you.
Username Lady Liberty. That works too.
Lady Liberty. Yeah, you have to have a referral partner, and that would be Erin. Okay, 208 502 0982.
That's excellent. Look at that hard, strong work. So, what you mentioned earlier was that you might go to an ATM and they might not have cash. And so, what's happening in ATMs due to a new China law is there is no cash at the ATM. So, I'm just going to read this for a little bit. Social protests and government attempts to disrupt them can have unexpected consequences in different areas, including on new technologies. Information security experts report that ATMs in Hong Kong are running out of cash due to the possibility of China's government taking highly intrusive and authoritarian measures to stop recent demonstrations and prosecute those responsible for their organization. Now, you guys might say, well, that's not going to happen here because they're protesting. Oh, wait, so are we. And some pretty weird stuff is going on with a lot of Chinese alliance, which you guys know. I know that anybody that's on my channel understands this, and I don't think I have to explain it to you. And this is exactly the direction we're going here. And we'll get to that in a second in the next article. This says rumor sprees have recently begun to spread that China will seek to arbitrarily freeze the bank accounts of many of those involved in organizing mass protests. Can you imagine if all your money was in the bank and this kind of thing happened where they could come and control your money just like that? And that's part of the problem. That's what we were talking about earlier with the federally involved aspect of it. You can't even have your stuff in what do you call those? The boxes. I can't think. You probably can think for me. But the special boxes that you can get in the bank that you get the
Oh,
key,
safe
safety deposit
depository.
box. Yeah. Even
Yeah.
those are not safe. If the bank has a bank run, they can take anything you have in there, whether it's gold, silver, jewelry, or dollars. And so we've got to pull these dollars out of the bank so they can't do this to us. Now, I need a bank account for certain deposits of like Social Security, but I'm not trying to depend on Social Security anyway. So if they're going to take my bank account money, they're probably going to take my Social Security too. So whatever I can that's extra, I'm going to take it and move it into the Sound Money wallet because you're just not even going to be able to pull cash out this way. This way, we don't need to pull cash out. Guys, we are going to go to a digital type of dollar at some point, whether it's backed by gold or not, whether it's just Sarah, Nasera, which I'm not looking forward to, but whatever. whatever happens, we're going to have a digital dollar, and I'd rather have mine protected by physical gold and silver with 7K metals, not federal, because yeah, we got to use the digital dollars, but I can exchange them for gold and silver, have them in that vault, and I can turn it back into digital dollars whenever I need it. So cash is just going to go by the wayside. We're not even going to be able to use it for anything anymore. So who cares? You just get it out, get your cash or get your digital dollars from your bank account, move it over. You don't want to end up like Hong Kong, but also the Fed sets a 0% reserve requirement ratio, urging banks to use capital liquidity buffers to bolster lending in the face of the coronavirus. Reserve requirement ratios will drop to 0%, already happened March 26th, as it announced a series of actions to encourage financial institutions to step up the availability of credit in the face of a global economic downturn spawned by the spread of the coronavirus and other issues. So what that means, and I know Amanda knows this because she already knew before we talked earlier today, that the banks do not have to hold a single dollar for anyone's money in there. So if you want to go in and get your cash out, they might have it, they might not. Not one bank has to hold a single dollar anymore for you guys. So I don't know if you want to say something on that, Amanda.
Well, they are. They're just forcing us into a digital currency. And that's fine. That's why I'm thankful I have 7K metals, because I'm just going to move my money right out of the banks. They're just getting, the greed that's happening is just disgusting to me, and they really are trying to suppress us even more and more. So um, our cash isn't worth anything anyways. I mean, yes, I'm going to have a cash balance all the time in case I need to buy something or pay a bill, but I'm keeping my money in gold and silver. I trust it. I believe in it. It's only grown in value. Yes, the dollar or the price goes up and down daily, but compared to what cash dollar is doing, it's still always increasing, in my opinion. And you can do all the research you want, you know, on that, but our cash is just losing value every day, no matter what. Gold and silver might fluctuate, but it's always maintained. So
Right. And
that's where I'm keeping my
they
money.
they put this under the guise of coronavirus, or they put it under the guise of protests. So you see China saying it's because of the protests. We're saying it's because of the coronavirus and stimulating the economy. It's going the same way. Ben says, I'd like you to look into three things, Amanda. Freos.io, the blockchain website idea. I have looked at it, and Celsius cryptocurrency. There's another blockchain website company I actually just made a site with, but I don't remember it. I'm not advertising for them because I don't make any money. But the reason that blockchain websites are going to be a good idea, since Ben brings it up, is because that's another way to free yourself from the internet. It's another way that, let's say you have a website on, so you buy a domain on the blockchain website. That means nobody can ever take your website down, ever. Now, platforms can choose not to allow your website onto their platform, but it's a pretty big deal when you put a lot of work into a website, you put a lot of work into what you're doing and who you are, and you get people going there, but it can be taken down anytime just because it's a .com or a .net or any of those that you even if you're paying for it, guys, they can take it. And if you forget to renew, then they take it back and then they try to resell it back to you for thousands of dollars. So this is, I don't know if Freos.io is exactly that, but if being a blockchain website idea, I already did buy a domain on one that is blockchain, and that's why it matters. It's one of the ways we can still have the internet and not be forced into the way they want to do things. Totally interesting. Again, YouTube won't have to allow me to put videos up there, but at least I'd have a place to put videos that can never ever be taken down. Um,
Wow.
I don't know anything about Celsius cryptocurrency, or if I do, Benz, I don't remember. Let's
We
see. I just
used to be able to load our account with Bitcoin. I don't see that option anymore. Do you, Aaron? Do you know anything about that?
Oh, I don't know because I don't use it.
I don't either. That's why I don't know anything
The
about
only
it.
the
So,
only way I can find out is what I'll do is I'll pretend to buy something here, and then when I go to pay, if that's still an option to pay, then they're still allowing it. To do, let's see. Well, the internet's a little slow. We'll see what happens, but yeah, cryptocurrencies are a whole nother conversation that I don't mind looking at. In fact, I listened to this guy Gon Shimura from Face Like the Sun. That's not even working for me. Anyway,
oh, Doc
I
Michael said he still sees the Bitcoin option. Okay.
oh he does. I don't. Interesting. It must.
I thought I don't, yeah, huh, maybe not.
Well, it
Maybe
depends.
something changed.
It depends on where it's located, how to find it, right? So I just need to delete this out of there before I accidentally buy it. Um, yeah, when it comes to cryptocurrency, I'm highly on the fence because the reason is I worry about the future of technology and the ability to have energy. So like if the grid went down, like if we had the 3 or 10 days of darkness that everybody talks about, then we would not be able to even reach our cryptocurrency. So no blockchain is going to matter in that aspect because you can't get to it.
Yeah,
If you don't have internet, you don't have cryptocurrency. Now it might be out there for if the internet ever comes back on, but I'm not trying to live off on the internet anymore. I'm literally just going to do this. Now this is internet stuff, but I know the company. I can drive to Idaho Falls and say, okay, I can't get on the internet, cash me out. So or I don't want to
yeah,
get on the internet, cash me out, whatever you have in the reserve. And they're going to keep there. They're going to keep track of this in triplicate. They're going to have it somehow in writing too, or print off. They're going to print off. They probably print off something daily, like this is where we're at, because you can't just count on it being saved digitally perfectly all the time.
yeah, huh.
Anyway, that's my thought about that. I hope they are. I can always find out though, and easily enough, I could print off what I have in there as well and say, okay, here's where it was that day. Cash me out. The internet went down. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I still have a lot to learn. I'm definitely not a know-it-all, but I'm so grateful for this company because I have learned so much in the last 3 years about gold and silver and what's happening with our dollar, which is something I never knew before. And that's why I just share and share and share everything I can about this company and what I've learned because it's definitely changed my life and my financial future. And for my kids, my daughter, she just turned 18 and she's Native American. So when you're Native American, I don't know if anybody knows this, I didn't, but you get 18 money, and it's something that they've saved for the last 18 years. So anyway, she's got thousands of dollars. She got a check, and she's putting it directly into our smart money wallet, and she's leaving it in gold until she graduates from college. Isn't that incredible? Like, what kids do you know that are going to be doing stuff like that? I mean, it's so her future is so bright financially just from what she's learned from me. And so we got to just keep sharing this with everybody, you guys.
Just to LB is Native American too. She just and all we know is from that personal. Oh, Cherokee gets nothing. That's interesting. That is weird.
Dang.
Not that
She's
I.
Spokane tribe, which uh, they're not, as far as I know, they're I don't know the right words, pretty poor. But they still put away $500 a year for her for the last 18 years, and
Hmm.
uh, or I'm sorry, 250 a year, and then sent me 250 a year. So, but anyways, that's another subject. But I just thought it was pretty amazing that that's the choice she decided to make with her money.
Hey, so we've been blessed that Tiffany Clements is in the
Oh,
chat.
hi
So hi,
Tiff.
Tiffany. We have a lot of members. Doc Michael is a member. Benz is a member. Patricia Tillinghast is a member. She saw her on here earlier. Obviously, Amanda Joe is a member. I'm trying to see. Greg is very interested, which is exciting. LB is very interested, which is exciting. And sometimes, there's a lot of people that are members that aren't here. Brenda hasn't popped in. She's probably busy working. She's a busy worker. But the cool thing is there are a lot of members in here, so we're talking to people who could utilize this information. And oh, Rockman's here. There he is. Rockman's a member. So sweet. And so, hey guys, Tiffany is too. And the great thing is when there's another convention in real life, we get to all come together, hang out together. And now there's a whole bunch of us like major red pilled, like, in fact, Marvel Myers and I were joking that there's going to be a couple of people running away from us at the next convention. And I joked with her that we should chase them down because they just absolutely can't stand what we've been saying on Facebook. So
Yeah,
unfortunately,
I hear
there's
you.
always that, and we're not trying to upset. I'm not trying to upset people, but unfortunately, it happens. But it's going to be fun because there's so many of us that agree on a lot of things. We can talk about these things, and it's a real blessing to have that because it's hard to go against the grain the way that we do. Even just gold and silver is sometimes going in against the grain. Even with what's going on right now, it still kind of goes against the grain with so many people. They only understand the dollar and they can't understand anything else. And they glorify it. And oh my gosh, what are all these like rap metal gang banging style guys gonna do when they don't have cash anymore? What are they gonna take pictures of? Gold chains, I guess.
Yeah, well, at least they got some gold.
Right? Yeah. Well, they got gold diamonds and grills in their teeth.
Well,
Uh, Go
they
ahead.
should be announcing our next regional event in the next by the end of the month. So that'll be nice to share that with everybody.
Yeah, there's for you members, there's an events tab here that you can click, and there's a corporate call every Monday night for updates. Otherwise, there's generally no events, I guess, right now, but that's where they're going to be placing things. But every Monday, there's a call. I know there's calls. Amanda, tell us about what the calls are like on a daily basis for people who might want to introduce this business to somebody else.
Well, it's super informational and it's third party validation. So it's more, it's people want to know that you're not the only one doing this. I go share it with somebody. They want to know that it's not just me, obviously. And so it's great to hear the whole community come together and we, talk between each other. And then it's super informational. Sometimes it's really interactive. There's a lot of testimonials told on these calls every day, 11 o'clock Mountain, 1 o'clock Eastern. And so when I have a new person who's interested, I just text them the link and say, hop on and hear what it is we're talking about, as far as 7K medals go. And they get to hear from a whole bunch of people, not just me. So it's so important. It's the best way my business has grown is by using that call. And then, of course, we have wealth strategy presentations going every day of the week. I'm actually doing one in 20 minutes. So that's a presentation where I'm just going to introduce the company and why it's important to be using gold and silver, or have assets of gold and silver. And so there's just so many tools to use, but that update or that corporate call um, is one of the best. And then tonight at 8 o'clock Mountain, 10 o'clock Eastern, we do a corporate Zoom meeting. So you can actually see the founders and listen to them share any news with the company, what's going on around the country. They do recognition and we get some education in there and training. So anybody's welcome to watch that also. So we've got a lot of tools. If you want to be sharing this, you definitely become successful using these tools.
Yeah, the thing I like the most is that the longest a call usually is about 15 minutes, except for these calls on Mondays because, like you said, there's some training, there's some new information being shared, like especially when everything hit the fan, when the suppliers closed down because spot dropped to $12 an ounce and they had to shut down all sales completely for a few days. Everybody was like, "What is going on?" I mean, I bet they've probably had the most listeners and most viewers that night because we were all trying to figure out what's going on, and that's what that's for. Is
Yeah.
if not everybody can just call up the owners. I mean, a few of us have been in here so long that they know who we are, and so we do sometimes, but we don't try to take advantage of that ability to just text or call Zach or somebody just because we want to ask a simple question, unless it's important, and then we can. Even they would take a call from a new person. They just know who we are, so it's a little sometimes it's faster. But however, these updates are how you got to do that the best way. Everybody gets all the information all at once, and it's every single Monday night. It's a lot of work to put these videos together, Amanda, and do a live show. Some people know that, and some people don't. And a lot of people know with me because I've had so many troubles that they've seen me work through the microphone, the headsets, other headsets I've tried. They've seen me need a new computer. They've heard about my car problems along all this way. And so this this thing they do every Monday night is pretty extensive and probably is a lot of hours of planning before they even put it on. I can imagine because they've got to know what they're going to talk about. They've got to have everything set out in front of them. Who's going to talk next? Who's going to come on? And that is not easy to coordinate by yourself, let alone with like 5 or 6 other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, okay. I typed in the Zoom meeting that's tonight at 10 Eastern, but it didn't make it so you could click on it, so I
Oh,
don't know.
I know why. I know why. Any of the mods could do it. Let me just open this up and see if I can. Oh, I don't want to mess things up with me though. Hold on.
And there is a members. Oh, Greg's not a member yet. But it sounds like he's on the phone, or they're gonna call him back. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
I need to close
but
this
once you
out.
become a member, they'll send you emails for this Zoom.
Well, okay, so usually used to just have it up here, but if you are a member and you go to events, so since can one of my mods who's a member maybe go and click find that link? If you can't, that's okay. But if you get to events, that's where it is, and you just click on that, and then it gives me the option to open my Zoom. But the reason I don't want to do that is because I'm on Zoom and I'll mess it up. But it's every Monday. Sometimes it's more important than others. I think I don't think they mentioned last week about the Philadelphia Silver Eagle. Did were you on the call? I was not.
I can't remember the day they mentioned it, but yes, they did. Oh no, uh, I don't know. I don't remember.
So
I've watched so many.
I
Can't
don't think
keep
they
it straight.
mentioned it last week, but if you ask a question while you're on the Zoom, they'll answer it. There's a little like question and answer chat, so you can ask a question like, "Oh, hey, are you going to have these 2020s?" And they'll answer. They answer live, so they don't answer out loud because they got too much else stuff else to do. But just to remind you guys, these Philadelphia ones, if you can get one, it sounds like you might need to try to push it through before the 15th, which is something you can do. You can set up your autosaver and then process it right now. Just make sure to delete it after you do that, or else they'll process it again on the date. So if you were to sign up for the 15th and
Yeah.
process it now, they just ship it out right away, but you got to remove it because they'll process it again on that date.
Yep. That's exactly what I did.
So I mean it's 4:45. You got something to do in 15 minutes. So what we covered, just to rehash, you guys, is we really are the new bank account that you should want because it's backed by gold and silver. There's live security, there's video security, and an auditor to make sure that that gold and silver is equivalent to the dollars that are being put in, and you can either have to hold your cash, which will not go up and down with spot prices, or you can put it in gold and silver, which will go hopefully mostly up, but it does go up and down with spot price, especially we just don't know what's going on with silver and gold right now. Because to remind you, if you have protesters, they can stop giving you cash at the ATM. If you have coronavirus, they don't have to hold any cash. So pretty soon you're not going to have any cash and you're not going to be able to go out to the bank and cash out your account. You're stuck with their digital money unless you move it over. So anything else you want to say before we go, Amanda?
No, I think this was awesome to be sharing this with people. So go get your next step is to go get you an account or a membership. 199 is our lowest. Grab one, start using the Sound Money wallet. It's going to be great for you and your family.
It could be the thing that just gets us kind of allergy that's coming for at least for a while. What I try to say is maybe it's not going to save us, but it's going to be something that's going to help us escape this a little bit better than most else. So hold on. Ben says, "Here's Amanda. Here's an important
That's an
question."
interesting question.
Yeah, go ahead.
The second or third vaccine, how would it affect our ability to use? Okay, listen, I don't have the answer for that. Um, that's pretty deep, but I will tell you, the men who founded our founders are Christians and they're very intelligent. I would bank my money that they are not taking those vaccines. I would bank my gold on it. So I'm not worried about using 7K because, again, it's a privately owned company. Again, I am just speaking from my opinion. I don't have the answer, but I guess none of us really have the answer for something like that right now.
I'm going to offer an opinion. And my
Yeah.
opinion is that they're probably doing the same thing with their own dollars because if they put this in this is probably why they're doing it. If they're putting this in there now, they'll be able to store their own dollars, and we're talking these guys are millionaires and billionaires. They're not just putting 10 grand in here. These guys have a lot of money. And they move it around in other things too. But they're probably trying to do this to protect all of that. If it comes down to a mark and we know it's the mark and it says this is how you'll buy and sell, it may just be that this is the only way we're going to be able to do some things in here with this. But everything else, you guys, once it comes to that point, there's going to be a lot of people that don't take the mark, and they're going to have to start doing a free trade system. That's just how it's going to be. We may end up literally underground, or may just be, in the figurative underground, and we're just not going to be able to use this cash or digital money anymore. But we will be able to use gold and silver, and so it kind of doesn't matter. The business might go up in smoke if we have a mark of the beast end time situation, right? I mean, how could it possibly survive very long if that happens? But unless they take the mark, and none of us will. That's just how it's going to go. But again, like Amanda said, we don't know. We have
They
no idea.
won't. I'm not. I I'm telling you, these guys would not take the mark. I know it. I know them. You know them, Aaron. But that's just a whole nother thing. Um, so I'm sure they're planning ahead.
I
They
agree.
really are visionaries.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree with you, and I know that I'm pretty sure that they have thought this through, whether they really believe it could happen in their lifetime or the fact that they know there's quite a few of us that believe it could. We're not the only ones that go to Red Pill Convention. Heck, they signed up G. Edward Griffin of all people. So he's been
Right.
spilling red
Yeah.
pills since the 60s. So anyway, when you get people like that involved and you know those kind of people, they have a very clear idea of what they could be looking at, or what we think we could be looking at. So anyway, with that being said, I'll just say that a really quick prayer. I won't take too long, Amanda, and we'll let everybody go and hang up and move on to the next call. So thank you, Jesus. Thank you for these people. Thank you for who you are in our lives. Thank you that we give up all the control to you. We know that we can do well with gold and silver, that this is the kind of stuff that helps us. It's not a worship of these things, and we are keenly aware that a mark could be on its way. But we pray your protection, and that you protect the remnant, and that we come together and be able to utilize these things intelligently, wisely, and with discernment while we still can. I think, Lord Jesus, when we ask you for more time, you give it to us, and we're praying for more time to continue to plan our futures and plan a future for our children that may be many, many years to come. They may live out their lifetimes with no problems. But Lord Jesus, we just pray for more time, and we love you, and we thank you for this community, and we hope more join us in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach of Nazareth. Amen.
Amen. Welcome, Greg. Welcome to 7K Metals. We're excited to have you.
Oh, did he join? I
Well, he's in. He's just there. I don't know how corporate works it. I haven't helped anybody
Oh
get in.
yeah,
I
he
was just
says I am in. Oh, congratulations. So taking charge of your life. God bless you. That's an exciting thing.
yeah.
Hey, well then I know that Greg and I will be in touch more often, so woo, yay, everybody give him a congrats and a high five. And with that, I will let you go, my dear. I really appreciate you know it, and I know the answer to this question. Will you come back again?
I'm going to be back.
All right. Well then till next time, peace and love of the Lord, and Amanda, I'll hang up with you and you just have a blessed night, and I'll see you next time.
Okay. Thank you, Aaron, for having me. This is an incredible thing you're doing here. You're really changing a lot of lives.
Well, and so are you. And let's do that together and continue.
Yeah.
All right.
Amen.
Good night.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Grab the rhythm and yeah, Destiny Lab, a little blast from the best. BTY, Brandon Thomas in the house. Want you to dance to this music. Come on and praise his name and at the same time move it. Don't think about it, just do it. Come on and feel the beat from head to feet. Move it. Grab the rhythm and use it. Come on and dance to this beat. Step into it now. Move it. Go with my God with your movements. Come on and move, everybody move, everybody move it.
You wanna feel good, then get wise. Pray for the water in his hands to baptize. If you got the boy and don't wanna give it up, let me pour you the truth so you can drink it up. Taste what your heart and soul have been missing. See what your eyes can do with new vision. You can see the glory of all and get yourself saved. Never too late to start thinking the right way. I'm on a road because the touch is so gracious. Man, Jump to the side of the right and get the know-how. And watch the sparks fly in your system. And see the many ways it changes how you live it. You want it? I got it? Then give me a nod. And let's feel the beat of a pulse that feels God.
Want you to dance to this music. Come on and praise his name and at the same time move it. Don't think about it, just do it. Come on and feel the beat from head to feet. Move it. Grab the rhythm and use it. Come on and dance to this beat and step into it now. Move it. Glorify God with your movements. Come on and move, everybody move, everybody move it.
Caliber of lyrical spiritual pleasure marsh pits. Destiny Lab taking all your ears hostage. We are fired up, let the torch burn for the Lord. Oh Lord, you got us through this dark world war. You try to battle us, believe you in dust, bro. Parable spiritual blessing manifest and test souls. Just like the nitrous ejector glow. Blast flow and cast modes like we're already national. Pass the micro, let me come on in. Breaking obstacles for bumps called sin. One step closer and the day will come. Heavenly family, you're not just one. We rip the beats and sweep the hits with passion. Destiny Lab, counterattack the dark reaction. For the souls that are in need of the spiritual. Take your last chance, listen to this material.
Want you to dance to this music. Come on and praise his name and at the same time move it. Don't think about it, just do it. Come on and feel the beat from head to feet. Move it. Grab the rhythm and use it. Come on and dance to this beat and step into it now. Move it. Glorify God with your movements. Come on and move, everybody move, everybody move it. Snares and traps, I speak raps controversial. Universal truths, use the word is my arsenal. Sword and truth, I'm a soldier. Take my pages, crush boulders, jack you in the corner. No excuse, so you smolder. You steaming mad cause I'm exposed, little demon on your shoulder. Folded arms with your nose in the air, like you don't care, but deep inside you know you're full of despair. Thought no one knew about the walls you built around you years ago. Now they cracked and crumble like a Jericho. First trump I call, cracks appear to cover y'all. Facade exposed from head to toes as the boulders fall. Now you're thinking like a baby, exposed on who you are. Look in the mirror, show your scars. No more skeletons and closets, secrets under surfaces. Search the universe to find its purposes. Want you to dance to this music. Come on and praise his name and at the same time move it. Don't think about it, just do it. Come on and feel the beat from head to feet. Move it. Grab the rhythm and use it. Come on and dance to this beat and step into it now. Move it.